T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Joy Seekers are live.
And here we are, show number 41.
Oh, it's too late.
I just remember that. I actually realised, I didn't realise how many we were doing these shows, but it was actually, this is the 41st show.
Wow.
45th. But it's not the 41st. Anyway, so, well, hope you're all well. And let me quickly introduce our crew as normal. We have Jackie below and Terry over there and Marcus down there. I know, Cotter, of course. Right, sorry, Kev can't make it tonight. He sends his excuses and sends his love and says, "Oh, hope you're all okay." But well, you know, he's got something better to do, like do some knitting or something. I don't know. Sorry, Kev, just joking.
He nicks socks, didn't he, or mittens? No, he nicks mittens, that's it. He nicks mittens.
This is what happened when you're not here to defend yourself.
Right, so quick hello to Russell and to Brian. Harvey. Maybe Steve's gone for a fly. Nah, not yet, mate. No, sorry, not doing that. And Gary, even ladies and jelly beans. I like that.
I had a lovely message from Japan.
Oh, it's Kim. Hello, Kim. How are you? And Jerry and John and Fly Zone Drones. Anyway, I must say a very quick thank you to Andy, who's in Spain, for the backdrop today. I said every week I'm going to feed you one, so and I've got a good picture I can use for backdrops. Drop them in wherever you need to be, and I'll use them because I do like to use a different one every week. So thanks, Andy, for that, and the check's in the post.
What were you saying, Terry?
Oh, sorry.
No, I got an email from Japan this morning saying how nice it was to see 4 drones flying together. And it was from a video I'd done and posted on my YouTube channel. Do you remember, Jackie, we did that formation flight? And I'd never seen this before. And he liked it, so I was dead chuffed.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
All the way from Japan.
I thought you were going to say you got an email from Japan. You went, and that one you couldn't understand. Hi, Steve.
That didn't sound like any Japanese I've ever heard before. I
can't speak Japanese, can I? Anyway, moving on.
Richard wants to know if we want any snow.
Oh, was that Richard, is it? No, yeah. Richard, I'd love some snow, mate, but just a weekend, right? Rest of the week, you can keep it. Okay. Right, anyway, we have a guest tonight, and you probably know who he is, but what I'm going to do is find me video, and here we are. And it's Mr. Ron Brown. Come back to join us again. Nice to see you again, Ron.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for having me on. I'm coming live from the Jersey Shore here. We're getting a few snow flurries today, so kind of a snow day around here.
I thought he was in the UK. I thought he was in Margate, Ron.
Not that Margate.
I know. Margate City is our actual name, though. I better say the whole thing out. Everybody thinks I'm filming in England, where the funny thing is, I grew up in Pennsylvania, And guess what town I was born in Oxford, and I went to school in Nottingham or whatever. Every place over here is named after some place in England.
It is, isn't it?
Except if you go to Florida, then everything's like, St. Augustine, St. something or whatever. They're all Spanish names down there.
That's very true, actually. That's very true. So what have you been up to, Ron? Have you been sort of flying lots of drones and?
Well, it's a little, we get a pretty good winter here at the Jersey Shore. Not as bad as some people up in Canada and Minnesota, what have you, but we get pretty cold weather. So it's been a lot of January's our worst month. So it's been a lot of indoor activities. But Marcus and I have been breaking a story the last couple of days. We went live on the Drone Nation Facebook group. They have like a nice live streaming thing inside the groups on Facebook. Now you could actually stream like live right from your International Drone Facebook group, only for your members in there. But anyhow, what the story we're on to is the Mavic Air 2, which is the Drone Nation Drone of the Year. We ran a big contest at the end of 2020. It got an update recently, an app update and a firmware update. And Marcus and I went live trying to perform this update the other night. But the problem is you need the app 1.2.4. And on iOS, you can only get 1.2.2. But it'll still let you, upgrade the drone to the latest firmware, which offers, Marcus, what is it? It offers different frame rates in 1080p when you're doing the, what's that mode called?
Focus track.
Focus track. You can now do 48, 50, and 60 frames per second in the focus tracking mode on the Air 2, but you have to have that latest app update. As of this morning, it's still not available in the iOS store. Mark, do you have any notes on that you'd like to cover?
I bet it's available on the smart controller.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Terry. So after I haven't talked to Marcus since we went live, whatever, Friday. And on the smart controller, you can use the Lightning browser in there to go to DJI's website and download the Android version, the 1.2.4, and then But the only problem is it logs you out of your DJI account, so you have to log back in again. So that means you got to remember all your username and passwords. But and it added a couple other features too, Marcus. But one of them was. How did it say that propellers? It lets you know when the propellers are folded.
Yeah, it lets you know when the propellers are folded. So what was unclear is we're not sure whether that means, are they saying the arms or do they mean the actual propellers?
Must mean the arms, surely. How would they know what the propellers are doing?
Yeah, that's
right.
I agree with you, Jackie. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's got to be the arms.
Yeah.
And it also lets you. It also lets you register for the. Did you? I don't know if it goes for any place but America. But now DJI offers flyaway insurance. If your drone flies away, they will replace your drone, not for free, but it's still at at least half the cost of what it would cost you to buy it brand new.
Yeah, probably about half the cost. So the cool thing about it is if you had a problem and you lost your drone for whatever reason. Right. Well,
like for example, Jackie Spark.
Yeah, but I got it back. But right.
So that means if you would have had this new DJI insurance, Jackie, they would have replaced your Spark for a lot less than it would cost you to buy it again.
About half.
Look what I got. DJI insurance.
Oh, wow.
I took it out exactly a year after I bought the drone. And you can do it. You don't have to activate it within 48 hours. There is a way. You have to contact them, and then they send you a link to upload a video. They give you specific instructions of what you got to do, because you have to do a screen grab, a screen recording while you're flying it and perform various functions. And then you have to upload it to your YouTube channel. They say you have to upload it as public, but you don't. You can actually upload it as unlisted. And then they watch it, verify that your drone is working as it should, send you an email, and then you go on the normal site as if you were going to activate it in the first 48 hours of buying it. and they make your serial number valid for 72 hours to give you a chance to do it, and then you can purchase it.
That's great.
So is that irrelevant?
You know,
How
you can do that.
is that irrelevant of how old the drone is then?
I don't know, but I mean, I did it a year and a day, so I think
not only
as long
that,
as they see it's working, they'll do it. Same price.
Let's face it, it's also a drone that's a couple of generations old with regard to DJI's hierarchy.
Yeah,
so,
one's a platinum, isn't it? So
yeah. So that
Gary has a good point there. He's saying that if you pay for that insurance now, I don't know what that insurance costs, but I don't know. I mean,
we can answer that for you, Steve. It's part of the DJI Care Refresh plan that many people already have. That it gives you 2 free replacements if you have an accident or a crash with your drone
per year.
The Flyway is going to be on top of that insurance you've already paid for. And on the Mavic, I keep going to say the Mavic, the DJI Mini 2, that was only $49.99 to get the DJI Care Refresh. That would include the Flyway insurance also.
So, for instance, Steve, in Jackie's case, the retail price for that drone is about $1,000. The insurance is only $950.
That's what Gary was saying there. Gary was saying that obviously, by the time you pay for the insurance, and only pay you out for half a drone.
No, the DJI Refresh Care just gives you a replacement unit.
Isn't the DJI Refresh? Isn't it about £100 or something like that? I can't remember now.
Well, I looked it up for a Mavic Pro, and it said €119, right?
Right.
But when I actually got the link, what I should have looked up was the Mavic Pro Platinum. So it was slightly more expensive. I paid $149.
So what would that? So if you're does that include a flyaway then, Jackie, or not? Because normally a lot of these they say if the drone crashes, but providing you can show and say, look, here's my drone, or send them a broken drone.
So Steve, I believe with this recent update that they just did, anybody with a refresh plan now, that currently have a refresh plan are included in that flyaway guarantee.
Oh, brilliant. So
now, I expect you are, Jackie. I would send them an email just to make sure,
okay.
Or on Twitter or something. But it's critical to understand how that works. Yeah, Jackie, if you lost your drone and you were able to find it and they'd send you another one, I think they'd charge you like $40 or
which is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, mine was $56, Marcus. When they sent my Mini back to them, I had to pay them $56. That included shipping and everything.
Yeah, which makes sense.
You didn't tell me.
Now you need to understand though
that I will, Bill.
That Flyaway program, you would pay. I'm sure to replace yours, Jackie, I bet it would be $300 or $400. I would think on a Flyaway.
That's better than 1,900 or 1,000.
Exactly.
There is, Jackie, on their Facebook. You said no aircraft recover, no payout and refresh. That's how it used to be.
That's changed.
That's changed.
Right. Okay, so anyway, there's an update on that. So if it does fly away, they said it was now including the flyaway. And to be honest with you, that is probably the most chance of you actually claiming on the thing is when the drone flies away, isn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, maybe. I mean,
Kim uses cover drone. I think I got a quote from them, actually, Kim. Cover drone insurance that included drones. I think it was about I think they quoted about £140, I think, for 2 drones. For in case, for wrecking them anyway. I don't know about flyaway. I'm not sure about. Anyway, so Ron, you got to tell Jackie.
I got big news for you, Jackie. Wednesday night last Wednesday on Bill Thomas's Coast to Coast drone therapy show, and that's on at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. Sorry, shameless plug there. We do a show once a month, and we shout out channels to try to get those channels more subscribers, channels that we think are deserving more followers and more views. And Bill chose your channel to shout out Wednesday night we
Oh,
featured
we should watch.
your splash page where it tells all the statistics, and we told a little biography about you and whatever. So if you saw some uptick in subscribers this week,
I did. I got 5 new subscribers this week.
there you go.
I did wonder why I was getting them, but
Gary,
There you go. So if you want to watch the replay of the show, just go over the Coast to Coast Drones and look for the Wednesday night. I think we call it the Shout Out Show or the Channel Promotion Show. I can never get the title down, but we do it once a month. Marcus, you have a point.
Yeah, speaking of shout outs, I want to talk about you, Ron Brown. You just released a video today on the Autel Evo 2 that, speaking of brilliant, if you want to see a really fun video showing the Ocean City, New Jersey boardwalk, check it out. It's really good. Sarah and I both sat here just enthralled by it this morning.
cool.
And when Marcus visits once the COVID's over, we'll take you over there. And did you like the bicycle footage too?
I did, and Ron, I gotta tell you this. So the first thing that Sarah zeroed in on was that store that had ice cream and fudge. She goes, ice cream.
Oh, there's ice cream and fudge on every block in Ocean City. Ocean City, if you want to get healthy food, don't go up to the Ocean City boardwalk. It's nothing but fattening, high calorie stuff.
And ice cream.
And ice cream. Yeah.
Much ice cream as you can get, frozen custard and so on. But I thank you, Marcus. I want to shout Marcus out. He, we talked earlier about me passing my part bonus heaven, but the other big news of the week was Marcus's YouTube channel, Idaho Quad Cup, passed over the 10,000 subscriber mark. So shout out to Marcus. And when Marcus and I first started doing our show, he had less subscribers than I did, and he was called Sledhead back then or whatever. So he's really done a lot of work in the past 2 years.
And Sean Matthews used to always call me Idaho Sledgehead.
Yeah. The same Anglican.
Got to get that sledge out of my head.
Is Sean on there? Sean,
He is. He's watching. He is watching.
Is that Sean? Say hello to my mother-in-law.
No, that was Jeannie.
Yeah.
Oh, where is he then?
He's just watching, it says. He hasn't made a comment yet.
Oh, right.
Covertly watching.
Mark's here again. Another good video, Mark.
Oh, yes, those videos are great, Mark.
I can't keep up with Mark. Can you slow down on making them? I just don't have time to watch these things. But no, seriously, very good. Done the article 16 thing, as you said, and hopefully it's going to come in useful. So we're going to press on with it, and you just keep giving us very much a lot of information, and we'll carry on doing it. But anyway, so I'm going to say hello to Jeannie, and who else? I've missed out here. I've missed someone else out here. Gary was. Oh no, I said hello to Gary. So all right, carry on. Right, fair enough. So we've currently got 25. Well, it's saying tonight there's 25 people watching and 1 on Facebook.
Cool.
Very bizarre. There we are. Right.
Coming along.
So comes up to 2021. Well, I hope you're right there. I sincerely hope that I would like to think that we laugh out loud. What? Okay. Slowing them down. No, I don't mean the speed of them. Because it might absorb more that way, my brain at my age, all that. Anyway, I just got back from a great waterfall drone trip. Yes, Jeannie went for a long drive. I'm on Facebook.
That's Ross.
That's
Oh,
right.
Ross. G'day, Ross. So Ross will probably taking his wife to work. He goes, Gary, you going already? What is going on with you, Gary? You might Liverpool play.
He's a busy boy, Gary. See you next time, Gary.
Well, Gary, nice to see you popping anyway, Gary. As always, we always have to. We look forward to seeing you. We watching. What? Who's that? That's Ross.
That's
Who's
Ross.
that one?
Well, that is Ross.
Who's saying watching then?
Sean.
Facebook user.
Tony Carlis.
Oh, well, it's quite weird because he only six. Yeah, if you do put your name on there, he does actually, because otherwise it comes up here as Facebook use. But then I have to get Jackie to find out who they are.
Yeah.
Ross, I know because he says g'day. G'day.
Jackie Two Phones has all the
Oh,
information.
wow. Jackie's multitasking.
Oh, Scott.
I'm in the process of switching
Hey,
from a UK one to a Spanish one.
Because Jackie's now got 8 browsers on her phone and computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you. No. No.
Hey, I want to welcome our friend Scott Nadeauan. He's one of, big fan of Drone Nation, and he's from the great state of Minnesota.
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 You gotta say it,
Minnesota.
Ron.
That was like,
And Minnesota it's like as cold as living in Canada in Minnesota. He's probably got snow outside the window right now.
Minnesota always sounds like a cross between a soup and a drink. Little boy.
Minestrone.
You're thinking of Minnesota.
We don't understand.
Hey,
you.
Marcus, Jackie wouldn't be laughing if she's standing outside of Minnesota right now.
Oh, boy. Yeah, no kidding.
Article 16 rules. Yeah, if you are just flying for recreational purposes, Article 16 lets you get you further. If you join the BMFA, you can obviously get liability insurance. I think it's 25 million. I think I'm sure Mark will be right if it's wrong, but Mark done a very good video on that. So, and you
Steve,
can-
are you a registered pilot in England?
I am.
You are. Good.
Yes.
Was it difficult taking the test?
Well, I haven't done the GVC. That's the only thing I haven't done. I've done the A2 CFC, which allows me to fly closer and whatever and blah blah. But there's always something else to do in the UK. You know, I think the next thing is sort of piloting a real plane. Seems like a good idea to me.
What about the Apache helicopter you wanted to buy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ask us, Ron, about our operator certificates in Spain.
No.
We're going through a terrible, terrible bureaucracy at the moment.
Spanish bureaucracy is
Spanish bureaucracy.
long-winded.
But we'll be there. We will get
We'll
it
get there.
this week.
Now,
There's
Mark,
many stages.
yeah, Mark's on here. We say about this thing of doing this thing in Luxembourg and whatever, but it gives you a registration number. But obviously in Spain, it contradicts itself, because on that website I looked at today, it said, yes, this covers you for the whole of Europe, any state in Europe.
Yeah, it does for the
but then,
completing the training.
but
But you still have to register.
But what are you registering? Because you've already registered with the EASA, but you've got registered with the SA. Was it?
It's the same thing, but it's the way
Yes,
it's managed.
Yeah, I think you take your training with that zone, whatever it is, zone training,
Yeah.
and it's EASA recognised, and then you register with the EASA, but through your countries of residences website, and
that's
hold up
Yeah, well, that's what I couldn't understand, Jack. Is I read on there, it says on there, this covers you for any state in the EU. And then further down, it says you must register in your country of.
Yeah, they're definitely separate things. It's not worded very clearly, but
They probably forgot to say that when they initially say it covers you for every a place in the EU. And
Oh,
they
so
didn't
Mark-
want that.
so our training is valid
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But of course,
So-
they're supposing that you are from Luxembourg.
Yeah, but we're not.
uh,
We still have to register in Spain.
but I'm not from Luxembourg, but the thing is, I don't live in the EU anymore. So how do I get to the UK?
Outside the rules, off the grid.
Yeah, drone
Well,
operator.
you have to look at it's a third country.
You're certainly right there, Mark, because we honestly, it's a minefield. I'm going to go to Spain. If I just have your Mini 2, not a problem. Not a problem at all.
I think Lauren Donauer's onto something there. He's saying that Canada has the best rules we've seen so far, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
A lot of sense.
Now, Sean Matthews the great Sean Matthews was telling me this week that he flies the Mini 2 a lot now, because he said because of it being so small, he can skirt some of the laws. Did I understand that correctly?
What's that? With the Mini 2?
Yeah.
Because it's under the 250 grams that he could do things with a Mini 2 that he can't do with his bigger drones.
Yeah, and what
Am I understanding that
Classed as
correctly?
toy.
in the UK, Ron, you have a scenario with because obviously there will be categorized drones. Okay, so Cat 0 up to Cat 5, I believe, and so the plan is eventually is that certain drones at certain weights, etc. But there is actually a period of time, like a cooling off period, because they don't exist at the moment. So they're taking all the existing drones to make them sort of like work in similar categories. Okay, now with a Mini 2, Mini or a Mini 2, any drone that flies under 249 grams. If you've got a camera on, you have to register. You have to do a competency test. However, it doesn't have any horizontal separation. Like at the moment in the UK, with a standard competency test, it's 50 meters within people and 150 meters for recreational areas, etc. When you do the A2, that reduces down a little bit more. Oh, it just goes on. But the Mini 2 lets you do a lot of things that you can't do with any other drone. Well, sorry, any drone of 100 to 250 grams allows you to do more. You can fly right up to people's noses if you like. It's not recommended. You can also fly over people, not over crowds, but you can fly over people.
That's what Sean said. He can fly over people with his Mini.
Yeah.
I see there that Mike and Yvonne have a question about non-residents. Although they've got their NIE, which is another Spanish requirement, can they register as a Spanish operator? And the answer is yes.
Yeah,
You only
we've gone
need-
out with NIE because I haven't got a TIE yet. I've got an NIE.
That's all you
still.
need is your NIE.
Yeah.
Plus, you have to prove
It's a lot
your
of
You won't know what that means, will you?
Yeah, that's a lot of acronyms. Yeah.
Yep.
It is, but it is being replaced by TIE,
TIE.
which is the Tarjeta Identificación Extraños.
Foreigners card.
It's the foreigner's identity card.
Yeah.
So the NIE is another one for foreigners, but it's to do with the fiscal rules in Spain. So if you are a non-resident, but of course as a non-resident you can only stay in Spain for up to 90 days.
Yeah, in any 180 days.
In any
Yeah.
180 days.
Yeah.
But
So
yes, you can register as an operator, but you still have to take the other exams as well.
So
The
even if
AA.
Marcus and I came over from the US, we can still register?
Pardon?
Even if Marcus and I came over from the US for a trip to Spain, we could still register to fly?
Yes, you would have to register, but I think they're going to have to change the rules on that, because when you start to look into the application form, it would ask you for your NIE number.
Exactly.
Now, and this is the Spanish wording. You're a third country. You aren't a member of the EU.
Like
They
the UK.
class Britain as a third country. They'll have to change the rules on that, because when you do apply, as I said, they will be asking you for your NIE, which you don't have.
What about would the Mini get us by that, Terry? If we brought the under 250 gram
That's
drone?
fine. It's not
It's
regulated.
fine, but if you've got a camera or any form of data collection, then you have to register.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
but my argument is I am registered in a European country, i.e. Luxembourg. And that,
Yeah,
and that-
yours is.
but what I'm saying, that so Marcus could do the same thing, surely.
What if I
Yeah,
promised
I-
I'd not turn the camera on when I flew?
No.
What
That's
is
what
the
got some stuff.
Let me ask
What
you
I would
this.
do is follow, as Steve said, the Luxembourg one, and you would then get a European. Now, I don't know if that's an operator's license, and perhaps Mark could let us know on that, whether that's an operator's license or it's just a registration.
Can you clarify this, Mark? We did this on the Luxembourg, the EASA. It's almost like the same sort of test as you do in the UK as a compulsory thing to fly a drone. Now that's all it is. It's just to say that you're competent. It's a competency test. That's what I'd class it as. But I'm sure Mark Zale and Steve Time will echo the same words. That allows you to fly anywhere in Europe. because you're showing that you are competent.
Pilot, yeah.
Mark said we can get Joe Biden to join the EU.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
If we can get Joe Biden to put the U.S. in the EU, we're good.
Yeah, I've got very personal to happen. France would object, mate. I'm sorry. They objected to the UK for years.
Seriously.
Well, I can give you more information next week on the Spanish system because my registration should be through this week, and I have finished the last part of the registration.
Hey, seriously,
So,
Jerry.
Yes.
Honestly, what would the chances be of even getting caught? In other words, for instance, if I came over for a couple of weeks and I brought my Mini too,
And we went flying in the places we
we
fly,
would fly in the places that you guys go where there's nobody ever there.
you won't get caught.
All I would say is, Marcus, is here, look, fly my drone, borrow
Yeah,
mine.
exactly. Yeah.
That's all I would do.
Or let's just say the Guardia did come up and I showed them my U.S. license and all that. I wonder if they would really press the issue.
Nah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought so.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the problem, though. This is the problem that we do come across all the time. And I was saying earlier about the COVID restrictions here. Now, the local town, two towns, Orihuela and Torrevieja, have all been closed down. Their borders are completely closed. Now, into Torrevieja, there's 5 ways of getting into Torrevieja. Each one of those entrances now has a complete armed roadblock with armed Guardia Civil, and you just cannot get through. So my point there is that they take things extremely seriously.
Uh-oh.
Now, the new rules regarding drones have come out, and yeah, I'm sure that were we to go to the Bridge of Five Eyes or anywhere out in the Badlands or wherever, you could fly to your heart's content. But as residents, if we get caught, we could lose our drones,
Yeah.
and we could get a 3, 4, 5,000 euro fine.
Right.
Because especially being a resident so what Mark's saying is that this Luxembourg is a flyer ID only, which I understand.
Yeah.
And it's not registered.
Not registered.
So
Yeah, they're 2 separate things.
so when in
Wow.
the UK then, Mark, do you register? You do your CAA thing, your £9 thing. That is registering as a drone operator, but in the UK under CAA rules, which are also now EASA rules, which I'm totally flummoxed with because we're not even in Europe anymore.
Mark's made a really good point there. Why don't we consider renting the drones out as long as people have got their EASA certificate?
But what is an EASA certificate?
The same as you've got, but with the Spanish option.
But what Mark is saying, that's a flyer ID only. It's not registered. What you're saying, in Spain, you have to register as a drone.
As well, yeah.
That's
Right.
exactly
Anyone
right.
anyone can do this. My mum could go and do this.
To be
She hasn't got a
honest,
drone.
that is just the same thing
Yes,
you do in the
it's
sea. I mean, I've done 3 of the damn things, plus and the A2 CFC. I'm all getting tested out. I know the rules inside out. I know about crowds.
But
I think we should get-
that's a
I
I
think
think we
really
should get
good
Mark on the
idea.
show next week.
All the stuff
Yes.
that's required. Could I pre-register a lot of this stuff online before I actually came to Spain?
Yes.
Or I have to do it at an office in Spain?
No, you can do it here. But then this is where we've all been banging our heads against the wall.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Lux test. That is so. So the thing is, Mark, if I go to Spain next week, I'm not going to because I'm not allowed to. If I went to Spain next week, if I had liability insurance just to cover me backside, and I have this EASA Luxembourg thing, can I legally fly in Spain? That's what I need to know because I don't want to go. I don't want to go to Spain and get locked up either. I'd rather not.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So
I think-
let me get this straight. So I could come to Spain with my U.S. driver's license, and I could rent a car, and I
Yep.
could drive in Spain. I can go down the road at 80 miles an hour, but I can't fly my drone.
Oh,
even if the drone's the Tello, you can't fly the drone.
No, you can. You
You
can.
can, but it's all
this is
completely
just different
new.
for us because we have to register in the country where we're resident.
Yeah.
These
I think that you'd have to
we're not
give it
resident here.
Hey, I am registered in the United
Months.
States.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean,
But give it 6 months, and I think a lot of this will be ironed out. I really do.
Just because it's
Because
still new, isn't it?
we've both read through line by line all of the regulations, and really it contradicts
Spanish.
itself time and time and time again.
Well,
And there
Terry,
is no
don't-
provision. Sorry.
well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what I was going to say, when Ron and I look at the new FAA regs, it's exactly what you're describing.
Yeah.
There are contradictory statements.
Yeah, it's not clear. It's not clear.
Yeah.
Well, Steve just saying on this. He says the same as me. I mean, Steve did it the weekend. We spoke on the phone. So I sent him a link to do it. He done it. And he said, yes, you can. There's a list of all European countries on the Luxembourg. It says on there, it does quite clearly state on there, you can fly. So, right. So, no, you're not registered as an operator. So, voluntary drone is registered to an operator. It says the proof flyer competency.
Exactly. Exactly that. Or I could employ you as an operator. I could employ you as a pilot.
There's always a workaround.
You're about to say when the U.S. like if I'm a Part 107, Marcus could fly my drone for me as long as I was remote pilot command, and we could fly a paid assignment, and that would be okay as long as I was.
But Ron,
Marcus would do what Ron says, though.
that
Well,
107,
Marcus flies safe. I don't have to worry about him.
that your 107 in Europe, Ron, is about as much good as a chocolate fireplace. I hate to tell you.
I'm not. What I don't get in all this whole stuff, is what in the heck does Luxembourg have to do with anything?
Well, let me explain.
On the radio station.
Luxembourg.
I couldn't put it to you on a map.
Well, Luxembourg's in Europe, right? So you don't do a competency test in Luxembourg.
You have to go to Luxembourg for the test?
We do an online test,
Okay.
Luxembourg, right? And then you get a certificate that Jackie's got there.
Exhibit 1.
And that allows you to fly a drone in Europe. Or does it?
No, it just shows you're competent to fly. I'm not yet registered to fly.
But you're competent.
Yeah.
Hey, one final question. Has anybody actually been to Luxembourg?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
To drive through it a lot, Ron. Lovely
Terry's been all over the world. Terry has been everywhere.
I have. I've been around.
I know, that's awesome.
That's
He's known in Luxembourg.
I have, yeah. And Brussels. And Paris.
Well,
Can you-
only in the shadier parts of town.
Scott saying, can you fly a kite there? I doubt if you'll fly a kite in Spain. Nah, no way.
Not without doing
No.
some Spanish
Not
paperwork.
without Luxembourg getting involved in it.
Anyway,
Mike and Yvonne have just asked if they can't register with the Irish. If you're an Irish citizen, you can.
Yeah, but if you're not, you can't.
yeah, that's the point, Terry. How on earth did I do Luxembourg? How did we do Luxembourg? Well, I'm not a resident of Luxembourg.
No,
I
it's
didn't
because
ask me.
You're not registered yet.
A competency.
You're just competent. Competency. Not registered.
Can you actually fly in Luxembourg with that thing?
So the question is then, what is the number of that LUX number? What
That
is
is
that
just
number?
your flyer ID. It's nothing else. It's not showing that you're registered. It's just a flyer identification number at this stage.
It's impressive though, Jackie, with that little drone in the middle and everything.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? I'm quite proud of it.
You can play that in front of a policeman, you'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're
I'll
not
tell you
going
what, though, Dee asked a question earlier on about getting very grainy video, and I don't think anyone's answered her yet.
Oh, was that grainy video?
Grainy video, I think. If you go down the line a little bit,
It's a lack of light normally causes that.
Yeah,
No,
is it too dark?
where is she? I just wanted to get away from all this drone.
Yeah, let's
We've had enough of it, haven't we, Terry?
we've had enough of it.
Oh, haven't we just? Yeah.
I'm
You
going
and
to sell
Mike
you
Wood-
drones. I'm gonna buy a kite.
What drone was you flying, Terry?
Well, that's my name is
got a Mavic. Jeannie, what drone are you flying? There we are, viewing my footage on my large computer screen.
Jeannie, my suggestion maybe your memory card was too slow and it wasn't recording at the same bit rate the drone was recording at. That sometimes can degrade footage if your memory card's not up to spec. Marcus, you've run into many problems with memory cards over the years.
Yeah, I have, but you're spot on. In fact, Ron, I'm glad you brought that up. What I noticed with my Skydio too is that I every once in a while would get a little choppiness in the video, and it was absolutely memory card related. I upgraded to that SanDisk higher speed card, and smooth as butter now.
She says it was happening when she was zooming in, so maybe it was.
Now, did this drone have digital or optical zoom?
Yeah, that's what you need to know, innit? Because if that's
on an optical zoom, there should not be a problem. On the digital zoom, you only usually have 1 or 2 stops of lossless zoom, and then after that, it becomes pixelated because all it's doing is oversampling the pixels that it has.
Now, I've never had a problem, Ron, because I've got the zoom, the Mavic 2 zoom.
Correct. You have an optical zoom, so you should have no disintegration at any level of zooming. But your drone is one of the few drones.
I think you're probably better because the SD card is possibly not fast enough.
I believe that's a likely suspect.
Yeah. Did you have a filter on, Jeannie? Because she's going straight into bright sunlight.
Ross has asked the question: Can you fly a drone in the UK whilst under lockdown? The simple answer is no, unless you fly in your back garden.
Yeah, I was going to say, from your back garden you can, can't you? Though.
Yeah.
But even if you stand in your backyard and you fly it over your fence, then that's illegal, huh?
No, you just
no, you can do that. It's like that is on the proviso, Ron, that it's only under 250 grams. If I fly my Mavic in the garden, I'm in trouble.
But you're like your Tello, you could fly it out.
I can fly a Parrot and Affy, and that's about it. Above that, you're in. That's it. No good.
Okay.
500 grams.
That's a good question.
Got another. Jeannie says she had a number 8 filter on.
An 8ND.
ND8 in sunshine should be okay, surely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's one of your low power ones. Your 4 or your 8s are for when it's not real sunny.
Yeah.
So she's going straight into sunshine.
I mean, maybe a possibility the ND filter wasn't clean. She should take her cloth and clean it before she put it on. I mean, she probably did, but I mean that is a possibility. I've had that problem happen where with real cameras that it doesn't look clear and then my filter's not clean. So that has happened.
Marcus, tell us about that new drone you're holding up.
You want to hear about this guy? So
yeah, why not?
This just came in the mail yesterday, and it intrigues me. It's an under $200 drone. It's the SG906 Beast 3. And I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to see if I can get it up to the camera here.
Oh,
see that thing on top of the drone?
Oh.
It's a laser.
That is obstacle avoidance.
Oh, wow.
It's not a camera. I thought it was a camera.
It's
Have you taken it out of the box yet?
No, I haven't. I'm going to make a video.
He's got to do his unboxing, Jackie.
Got to do the unboxing. But that little guy moves back and forth at 120 degrees, and it is obstacle avoidance for an under $200 drone. And it does have a 3-axis gimbal, and it does shoot in 4K. So I'm anxious to try it out and see how it does.
All right, Lauren's going to post a few pictures straight into the sun. So
straight into the sun.
If they come out, I'll.
Marcus, your first flight at Beast, are you going to go? Full throttle right into a wall and pray it stops?
You know what? I will.
Right? It's like a radar.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Anyway,
You know me,
But
Ron.
Marcus, can you fly that drone in Luxembourg?
You can't fly it anywhere. It's bad.
Depends if he speaks French, Ron.
Bloody Luxembourg. I used to listen to Radio Luxembourg. That was a terrible radio station.
Right, good. Luxembourgian.
That's it. They won't like me anymore. Anyway, moving on. Featured film of the week.
Drone Seekers featured video of the week.
That was so good.
I couldn't resist that one, Jackie. I thought,
Thank you very much.
perfect.
I'll
Absolutely
answer
perfect.
Ross's question. Is the
Yeah,
drone
yeah,
footage
yeah, yeah.
a
I'm
Skydio
not sure if
2?
I think he's actually trying to wind you up there, Jackie. Ross, you can't
Not
get
yet,
it's
not yet,
Skydio
Ross.
2 unless Marcus or Ron, whoever, doesn't matter. Send Jackie, please. Someone send Jackie a Skydio 2, please.
That was with my platinum, but
Yes.
I set the controller obviously on active track rotate and then put it in the back of my bike and pedaled off. But as it went round me, it quite often lost me at the front, which I don't think the Skydio would have.
No, definitely not. No.
So I
I, mean,
kept.
I did see a Skydio. I don't know. I can't remember the guy's name. Posted a Skydio video, and it was really, the weather was atrocious.
Yeah.
The wind was blowing a gust, and honestly, and this Skydio just
It got all wet. That's DC Rainmaker you're trying to say, Steve.
It was a guy. He was on a
DC Rainmaker is his channel's name.
It was all there was all waves and that sort of.
Yeah, he goes out on that stone thing, and the waves come up, and the Skydio got all wet. He got soaked, and it.
So he was doing a similar thing to you, Jackie, but the difference is the weather was completely different.
Let me throw. I need to throw a word of caution out there on what he did with that Skydio. So Skydio really warns you because it's all optical. For instance, Jackie, your drone was part GPS, part optical.
Yeah.
The Skydio really is dependent on those 6 cameras that tell it where it's at in space, and they warn you: do not operate it in the rain or snow or environments where any of those cameras are going to get obscured. Because if they do, that drone could do some wacky stuff. So
that being said, Marcus, he did have a big water spot on one of those cameras at one point.
I'm saying he got damn lucky, Ron. That's what I'm telling you.
All he had on the front of his bike was actually telling the camera, telling the Skydios go over there, go over there, go over there. And he was pressing, and he was pressing his, and he actually did at one point. He actually did lose contact with it. You see the rain, there's a splash of water went on the lens. You see it go blurred. Half the picture was blurred.
You would never lose contact with it. It would always maintain GPS. Now, the drone might not keep you in center of frame at that point, Steve.
It lost the active track. When you get a circle going around the subject, it lost track. It lost the active track sort of part of them. It didn't go anywhere. He just moved into a different one, and it was back in the game.
If anyone would like to send me a Skydio 2, I will repeat that film with it.
This is the control right here.
Get that bit first, Jack. One bit at a time.
But with these arrows, you can tell it where around you want the drone to be.
That's the beacon, is it?
That's the beacon.
Oh.
It was like he actually showed you on there, Jackie. It was like he had like one there, one. It's like different. If you looked at the clock facing like 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Jackie, you just could have put that beacon in your pocket and not worry about the controller.
Brilliant. I wouldn't have had to stop 20 times to restart.
Doesn't work. See, you can't find the Skydio too.
Jackie, put it on your cycle helmet.
America to Spain.
Will they ship it to Spain yet? The Skydio 2?
No.
I bet you it's coming soon though, because they're really catching up on production.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know one person who definitely had one. Mind you, the price tag. What's the price tag on a Skydio 2?
$9.99.
So what we need 999 subscribers, all to send €1 in.
There you go.
Crowdfund her.
And then we can keep Jackie happy once and forever.
Or Marcus, they can buy GameStop stock.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the big mess this week in the U.S. stock market where these GameStop, it's a popular store where they sell
I heard about that.
The stock went crazy because this hedge fund guys were trying to short it, and these kids on Reddit were buying it and driving the price up crazy, and it messed the whole market up. And the big hedge fund people lost billions.
Well,
Spain, you can barely get it in the USA.
Oh, okay.
So the wait time in the U.S., if you ordered one today in the U.S. or Canada, you would have it in hand in 45 days.
That's not bad, is it? I mean, it's only just over about a month and a half.
They got it in Australia.
So
16 months ago.
Wow.
Ross, when they're doing that, they're buying it through a third party and having it shipped.
Oh,
Yeah, but the thing is, Marcus, you say that, so
Is it?
Hold on. I got a question.
That's right,
I got a
Luxembourg.
question. I got a question. Say I buy the Skydio for Jackie, right? I buy the Skydio. Marcus says it comes in 45 days. And as soon as I get the Skydio, I hop on a plane and fly directly over to Jackie in Spain.
Yeah.
Now, when I get to the Paris
Luxembourg.
airport, what will the inspectors say when I have to get that out of my luggage? Will I be able to?
No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Absolutely fine, Ron. Not a problem.
But I don't have a certificate from
It doesn't
Luxembourg.
matter.
Well, they won't let you in Spain because of COVID.
I do.
So you can meet me at the airport and I can hand it to you.
Yes. When are you coming?
And then I'll get right back on the
Ron,
plane.
just ask them to open the door and chuck out on a parachute.
Right.
Or get it from Luxembourg.
I bet you can get one in Luxembourg.
We'll email them. Ask them. Can I get
That's why we like living in Spain, isn't it, Jackie?
It is. Yeah. Oh look! Oh, look!
Oh, there's the kid.
see?
It comes in a nice case, Jackie. And the case has a symbol on top, and the drone will land right on top of that case on the symbol. It
Brilliant.
sees that symbol and comes right down and lands on it.
Yeah.
Jackie, by the time you get one of them, it'll be Skydio 3 will be out.
Yeah. I don't care. I'd be happy with the Skydio too.
Marcus is going to get bored with that eventually, Jackie. You know it.
Yeah.
Won't you, Marcus?
Not very likely.
Marcus, what I reckon you should do is make a whole series of videos on the Skydio 2. Everything you can ever think of, then just give it to Jackie. You won't need it anymore.
I have made just a couple of videos with it.
Surprising it doesn't get all that many views, Steve. If you make too many Scuddy videos, your channel's going to go down because not that many people watch the videos.
Well, they don't want to miss him, do they?
What's wrong with them? Yeah.
Anyway, time's getting on. And
Yeah.
you
Come
know,
on. It's time for Terry's joke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm slacking here today. I really am. So,
Oh,
And now it's time for Terry's Joke of the Week.
Terry.
it's a short one this week.
Yeah, that's all right.
It was donated, actually. And thank you, madam. An Irishman and an Englishman walked into a bakery. The Englishman steals 3 buns, puts them in his pocket and leaves. He says to the Irishman, "That took great skill and guile to steal those buns. The owner didn't even see me." The Irishman replied, "That's just simple thievery. I'll show you how to do it the honest way and get the same results." The Irishman then proceeded to call out the owner of the bakery and says, "Sir, I want to show you a magic trick." And the owner was intrigued, so he came over to see the magic trick. The Irishman asked him for a bun, and he proceeded to eat it. He asked 2 more times, and after eating them again, the owner says, "Okay, my friend, where's the magic trick?" The Irishman looked at him and said, "Look in the Englishman's pockets."
Terry's Joke of the Week.
Thank you, Jackie. That was Jackie's contribution. But she said, "No, I can't say it. I can't say it."
hey,
The delivery.
hey, Terry, do you have a Luxembourg joke?
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, Luxembourg.
I got another one if you
You
want
think
it.
of a Luxembourg joke. You got another one?
I got another
Bonus.
joke here if you want another
You got another
one.
joke?
Hey,
Do it.
right, you ready then?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
This is the Reverend and the golf game. Reverend Francis Norton woke up Sunday morning and, realizing it was an extraordinary, beautiful and sunny early spring day, decided he had to play golf. So he told the associate pastor that he was feeling sick and convinced him to say mass for him that day. And as soon as the pastor left, Father Norton headed out of town to a golf course about 40 miles away. This way he knew he wouldn't accidentally meet anyone he knew from his parish. Setting up on the first tee, he was alone. And after all, it was Sunday morning and everyone was in church. At about this time, St. Peter leaned over to the Lord whilst looking down from the heavens and exclaimed, "You're not going to believe? No, sorry, you're not going to let him get away with this, are you?" The Lord sighed and said, "No, I guess not." Just then, Father Norton hit the ball and it shot straight towards the pin, dropping just short of it, rolled up, fell into the hole, and it was a 420-yard hole-in-one. Peter was astonished. He looked at the Lord and asked, "Why did you let him do that?" And the Lord smiled and replied, "Who's he going to tell?"
Terry's joke of the week.
Oh,
Now,
dear.
another one for next week now. That was my next week.
Oh, that was, oh, dear, oh, dear. Right, so don't forget, if you haven't done thumbs up, thumbs down broken button is broken. It doesn't work, so you have to hit the thumbs up button, please. But anyway, well, we come to Ron. It's been good to have you on board again. I do like to see you. We don't see you very often, but when we do, always a man with full of information.
Thanks for having me on, and thanks for working this around my football schedule.
No, it's not a problem.
All right.
Next time we'll just give you a little bit more notice in about a day.
And we'll let the Luxembourg ambassador know you're coming over.
Definitely, or whatever. I
Don't
just need a
forget-
map on how to get to Luxembourg.
So don't forget, anyone wants to know anything about drones, contact the Luxembourg Embassy in your country. And on that note, thank you very much from Ron, from Terry, from Marcus, and from Jackie. Let's do it all again next week, and have a good week. Safe flying, blah, 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 blah. And I've got to find the outro. There we are. Stay safe.
Thank you for joining us tonight on the Drone Seekers Sunday Show. It's good night from us until next time. Stay safe and fly safe.